Well, good morning. Squeedo coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support of the channel as always. If you're looking for other ways to do so, you can find those down in the description. Today's video, Euler Cannonball Clan TLG sent me this and said he did something that I teach. So we're going to take a look at what that is. I'm not going to give it away. What do you think it is? Could be one of many things. Could it be went to the critical terrain? Okay. Could it be reacted to the match he had, not the one he wanted? Possibly. Could it be going back, won his flank? Could it be I saw the Rompel stomp happening and I pressed W and put the pedal to the metal and gobbled up a bunch of hit points? Well, let's find out what Euler Cannonball does. He's in his 50 TP, tier 9 Polish heavy tank. Hard-hitting tank. Faux show. There's another one actually. There's two. He's top 2 in a 2-tier battle, and he's on Himmel's Proc steps. He's on steeps. It's pronounced steeps. Look it up. Google it. It's I'm pretty sure it's steeps. We go to the infamous Steeps Bush, where everybody goes. All right. Well, it's not exactly going to the critical terrain and dominating, is it? I mean, he's in the vicinity, so I'll give him that. Not a huge fan of... What the... Okay, TS5, whatever, bro. I really don't like that. That drives me crazy. But anyway, TS5 has decided he wants that spot. To his credit, Euler does see that there's plenty of people in that bush, and he decides to move up. Now, I think he might have done a little better to immediately go across this. Crossing this now is difficult. That's why, even if he'd have gone straight there, he probably would have taken a shot in the side because of where the spawn is on the purple. They can get to that corner faster than you can get across. It's just one of those inequalities in World of Tanks spawns and map design that just exists. I was a little bit curious about this the first time I saw it. I wasn't sure if he had a light. Okay. Probably not going to pin that highly angled. He doesn't quite find it. He does get lit. A little scoot forward to see, and then he backs out. So take a look at what's going on in the fight, though. Everyone look at the minimap. Everybody look at the minimap. Look at it. Look at the minimap. There it is. All right, so what do we got? We got a fight over in the west. We have a push on the east, which looks kind of doomed. There's only a couple guys pushing into at least 4 and maybe more. We're doing okay. We're 2,000 down, and we've lost 1 extra tank. So we're not great, but we're doing okay. Looks like the west is pretty strong. But what else we got? We got the middle. Middle's not looking good. All right, so Euler's moving around in here, trying to figure out how we're going to win this flank, or whether we are going to win this flank. A couple other tanks show up. Looks like the Tortoise is here. Now the T-95 goes charging in. And we get an IS-3-2. Euler does not zoom in very much, and I don't know if you have it set up, but I think I'd have zoomed in, although this is a pretty good aim, actually. Guy started to move right at the last second, so we weren't able to get anything but a track. However, we're going to pick up 98 assist, and then Euler says, ooh, I don't like what's going on. And there you go. He went back, my friends. He went back. I cannot express, I cannot explain anymore. I cannot make it more apparent to everybody out there who's watching this video. If you want to immediately do better at this game, do what Euler Cannonball did. When your cap is threatened, turn around and go back. Obviously, if you are in the middle of a brawl and turning around will get you shot in the rear and killed, and you can't extricate yourself from the fight where you are, then obviously use a little common sense in there. However, he certainly had the opportunity, and here comes the AE Phase 1. Now, the AE Phase 1 is kind of screwing up. Really, where he should have gone is the other way and helped gobble up the tanks that are over on the east side, and they could have gone back themselves and dealt with the push that's coming from the west. But the AE Phase 1's in the middle of saying, I'm flanking, of course, and he's going to get absolutely waylaid. He gets thumped by Euler. The TS5 is coming back, and the other 50 TP. The rest of the Muppets are pushing. Of course, some of those guys were already heavily engaged with what was going on up there, and they clean it up. But let's see what they do after that. Another shot into the AE, and down he goes. So that's nice. Euler doesn't have to take another hit. We're up to 1650 on the damage, 237 assists. And we're still down hit points, and it looks like we're down, or we're up 1 tank anyway. What to do now, right? We've kind of cleared it up, but there's still a 432 and a bat chat, and there's not a lot back at the cap. So I like this idea to go back a little bit further and see if we can't make sure we're not going to get some weird fast cap. Meanwhile, the ELC, the Super Pershing, and the T95 are all pushing. Wouldn't it be nice if they would have just come back? But let's see what happens for the rest of the battle. The east side loses. To be honest, they lasted a lot longer than I would have thought they would with only 2 guys right there. The Object 777 gets into the middle and starts chasing around the LT-432 and gets him dead, and that's huge. This part of the game, scouts become more and more effective. The mid to late game, the decision making at the mid to late game, and having a scout to get your spotting, being able to have that moving camo, right, that scouts have, is hugely, hugely important. So if you can get your scout to this part of the game, you can become much more effective. But it's starting to become a situation where they are squeezing in on the purples, except that they don't have a whole lot of tanks. They are spread out a bit. So they are in a dangerous position insofar that if the enemy team can get together and push a couple of their onesie twosies, things could go badly. But it looks like they didn't really push into the cap too hard. Nice little shot in the 53 TP. There's that hard-hitting Polish gun, over 500 on the Alpha there. Batchat's making a runner. This is kind of where the zoom in for me, Euler, would help you out. It's hard to just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be all this. It could be, you know, where are we? We're here. Just another click or two, and we can get that nice lead fire and hit that guy. But he's doing his best, and we end up missing right there. Happens to the best of us. And now we're going to push in. So we cleaned up the cap. We pushed the guys off. The cap's no longer an issue. We have the 250 TPs and the TS5 together. And our guys did start to put some cap pressure. The problem is we're kind of out of the fight here. Down goes the Karen. The good news is it's a T95, and that's really difficult for an enemy team to pop up and shoot. It's just a heavily armored tank. That's about a mid-range shot, 150, 200 meters or so. It's hard to snipe the hatches with some of those, but they do end up killing the Super Pershing, and now things aren't looking great. There are 3 of them over there, and there's a 53 TP and a bat chat that the 250 TPs have to wade through before they get there. I would imagine the 53 TP is run away. There he goes. So he's getting back there trying to get to the T95. And if the enemy team could really just push in, there's a nice thump at 519. That hurts. Looks like the Super and the rest of them are trying to get in there. Really what they needed to do is just push straight in at the T95 and get around behind them. But, you know, players being what they are, there's another big hit at 555. Players in this game being what they are, they're all going to want to try to sit their hull down, not really understanding that in this case, trading some hit points for position on the T95 to get rid of him was huge. They finally killed the guy. Looks like the Super sort of figured it out. He got in there and got rid of him, but they lost a lot of tanks playing peekaboom. Plus, now the 50 TP and the TS5 are rolling in on their side. And this is just classic for go back, right? He pushed out. I didn't really dig to go to the bush, but whatever. Pretty quickly, he moves forward anyway, so good. He's in the fight right there. We start knocking down the west side. He notices the middle's a problem, goes back, cleans that up, doesn't have to worry about some silly fast cap or getting too much pressure back there. Actually takes out the A Phase 1, who unwisely pushes into a bunch of tanks, and then starts to collapse onto their cap. And that's the thing, right? Go to the critical terrain, win that flank, get back, clean up whatever aggressive players they have, and then push into their Camp-A-Llama Ding Dang guys, right? Push into them. Because really, the 2 or 3 green tanks that pushed in on the east side, that's all they had. They pushed into like 4 or 5 tanks and did a pretty good job for a while. So these are the passives over here. They're all hanging out. They're not really interested in getting in there. The 53 TP got forward a little bit. And this is a fun little sequence right here where the IS is trying to take on this 50 TP. I think he nukes him. The ELC runs out of shots, and then right here we got a little death from above. Fantastimundo, boof. And we ram for the last kill. 3,280 damage, 237 assist with a kill thrown on top, and just a great demonstration of what we talk about on how to increase your win rate and do better in this game. Even if you go back and don't win, you probably gather more hit points than dying on the flank you were sitting on. because you're going to come back, start farming the guys that are pushing into the cap, take on near deads over there, and it just increases your ability to influence the rest of the game by taking out the aggressive guys. It's really it's incredibly simple. It really is. As far as the concept of it, the execution can often be difficult. There's RNG to contend with. There's dispersion. There's all the other things going on with the game. There's decisions by the enemy team. Watch for the games where you see both teams do that, because that's where chess matches really begin. You see a couple teams kind of send strengths to different sides, win, and then you start to see they all kind of go back, clean up whatever was pushing, and now what you've got left usually are the good players, and that's where the really interesting close games come into play in situations like that. So watch for those. All right, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate your support, and we will see you.